Welcome everyone back to North to Prem. I said in the end of the last video we would be back for the last two league games of the National League season unless something interesting happened. Well, something interesting's happened. We have our first job offer interview of the save. This time it is from Mansfield, who are down in 19th in League 2, and it's an interesting one because if you compare sort of league positions, I mean, we're second in the National League. They're 19th in League 2, so there's not a big gap. The two things I would say is, first of all, the league season's almost done. The 5 points clear of the drop. Harrogate are definitely going down, and it's really just about confirming survival. But they are, goal difference-wise, a lot better off than a lot of the teams around them as well. So it's probably not very likely that they are going to go down. The one thing I would say is they are obviously a full-time club, which if we were to get promoted, we would also be a full-time club. But there's two things, right? So first of all, I don't think we're definitely going up. Whilst our goal difference is amazing, we are still 6 points short of Rochdale, and there isn't that many games to make it up for. So that's expecting Rochdale to drop quite a few points, which they haven't really done this season. They've drawn a few, but they haven't really lost many at all. So the fact that they would need to keep drawing quite a few games, or they would need to lose a couple, which they haven't really done, would mean we'd very much be in the playoffs, which is still 2 games we'd have to win against, decent opposition. So I think we have to go for it. I think we have to go for the job offer. Now, the one thing I will say, there is also interest in me from Wrexham. Now, Wrexham are bottom of League 1, right? They're definitely going down. So basically, your choice is of 2 Football League clubs now, Football League 2 clubs now. What I would say with Wrexham is they have a £165,000 wage bill. That is a big budget. The budget at Mansfield is 49,000, so significantly less. So even though you'd be thinking, well, it's 2 League 2 clubs, one's bigger than the other at this point, no doubt about it. Wrexham are a bigger club. They've got better players. If you had someone like Paul Mullen, even at 31 in League 2, you're going to score, you're going to get promoted. They must have got promoted, but they've just not really done well enough in League 1. It is what it is. They're definitely going down. So you're definitely going to have a relegation on your CV if you go to Wrexham, but I don't think anyone would really consider it a relegation because they're already nearly relegated, and you'd basically be going in there to confirm it, right? Paul Mullen's second top goal scorer in the league. Goals scored clearly isn't their issue. It's goals conceded, and I'm not going to go deep dive into their club, but what I would say is, compared both of those budgets to ours, they are minuscule. Ours is minuscule. We've got a 13,000 wage budget. So even going to Mansfield is tripling the budget. Plus, they're a full-time club. There is absolutely no guarantee we're going up this year. I think we've got to go for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attend the Mansfield interview. We will play the games in between off camera, fully expecting us to stay at the club. We're not going to, just skip games. We're going to play games as if we're not going to get this, because there's every chance we do the interview and they don't offer us the job, right? This is the first interview. It's not a guarantee. What I am going to say is, if Wrexham also come in for an interview, we will decline the Mansfield job and back ourselves to get that Wrexham job. Because one thing you can't do is, once you've got a job offer from a club after you've done the interview, you can't delay it. So we can't say let me just wait a week and see if Wrexham offer me a job. No, you have to either accept or deny. So I think that's the case anyway. I'm pretty sure you can't delay it. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to attend the interview for Mansfield. If Wrexham come in with an interview, then we're going to reject the Mansfield job and back ourselves to get the Wrexham job, which could backfire and we could end up having to stay at Peterborough Sports. But if we do the Mansfield job and Wrexham don't even offer us an interview by the time Mansfield offer us a job, because it usually takes a couple of weeks. Sometimes it's quicker, sometimes it's slower. It just depends on the club. But I think with the fact that, they're probably near the end of the season, it doesn't really matter for either club. They're probably not urgent. But it is the first one for us, so it's really interesting. So, yeah, so if Wrexham don't come in with at least an interview by the time Mansfield offers the job, if the interview is successful and we do get a job offer, then we're going to take it. I think the least likely option is we actually stay at Peterborough. The only way we stay at Peterborough is if we decline the Mansfield job and then don't get the Wrexham job. I'm thinking either way, we'll probably be getting offers in the summer anyway. it seems like we're at that point now. We've obviously got a promotion on our CV. We're looking like we could be doing back-to-back promotions. We've at least done playoffs every year. Every year we've been in the club. And we came into the club when they were like near the relegation zone in the first season. So that turnaround, plus the promotion season, the league title winning season, by the way, and taking a team that's newly promoted second in the league just behind a very good Rochdale. We're obviously done well. We've done a few coaching badges. We've done 3 coaching badges. So our reputation in the game's gone up as well. So, football league clubs are starting to look around us because we probably are a football league manager now. So, hello, Destro. Let's do the Mansfield interview. So, hello, Destro. Thank you for agreeing to speak to us so we can put forward our vision for the club and allow you to suggest any alterations should you become our new manager. Let's get on with it. You so far have only managed one team throughout your entire career. Is this a good or a bad thing in your opinion? I'm very loyal. Plus, I've only been managing for 3 years. One club in 3 years is actually, well, it's kind of good going nowadays, but it's really not that crazy. Why do you want to leave your current job after doing so much good work there? Because you're offering triple the wage budget. Where can I say that? I want to take the next step in my career and I want that to be here. I'd rather it was Wrexham, but our previous manager didn't enjoy the best of relationships with the supporters. Are you confident of providing a different dynamic with it? Of course, the fans love us. We don't want a repeat of our last manager who we had to part company with earlier than expected. Are you going to be around for a while? I have a proven track record. I've stayed at one. I'm a one club man at the minute. Our last manager, you've already said this. Yes. This is bugged because it's asking about whether we get on with the fans, but actually it's about the players. Yeah, the players like me as much as the fans. That's a bug. The club is looking to manager. Comfortable working with limited resources. What do you mean? Are the club in a bad financial state? I'll need to look at this because I don't want to go into... Because Peterborough are doing okay. Like, yes, the wage budget is low, but financially we're actually okay. We turn a profit most seasons because we've been clever with the wage budget and we haven't gone and spent transfer budgets. We've been doing it on the freebies, which at our level you have to. But we've actually had good cup runs as well. So I'm not going to go into a club if it's a financial mess. I'd look after the club's finances, okay. We're overachieving. You're in 19th? I'm getting worried. Like there's some red flags going up here. So they're overachieving in a relegation fight. Okay, Mansfield, who are very much a football league club, and they're thinking, we're actually going to trim the wage budget and the finances are a bit tough anyway. Right, okay. Yeah, we've already overachieved. We were only meant to get mid-table this year, and we're up in second. We would like to know when. Just now. I don't like joining at the end of the season. I always like to get in and just do it. So they want us to develop players using the club's youth system. That's probably not going to happen at League 2. Sign English players, I'm fine with that. Possession football, no. Attacking football, yes. Sign players under age 23, perfect, I always do that. Work within the wage budget, I always do that. Grow the club's reputation, yeah, I'll do that by getting promoted. Maximum of 1 year, I'd never sign players over the age of 34 anyway, don't worry about it. So they just want us to stay up, and the cups we're already out of, so it doesn't really matter. And what is this? What is with the bugs? You're not in League 1, you're in League 2. Attempt to remain this, we're nearly at FM25 now. How are these things not fixed? We're in League 2. So I guess just remain in League 2, or do you actually want me to get promoted then remain in League 1? Whatever, it's fine, but it's bugged. We're not expecting anything of you this season. You just said you want me to stay up. This is what I mean. It's just like the interviews need fixing because this is just shit. Basically, it's just wrong. Yeah, that's fine. No, nothing that I need to request. Right, okay. They're going to get in touch. Right, what an awful interview. I think we did well, but bloody hell. What's he called? John Radford. He doesn't have a clue. Doesn't have a bloody clue. Asking us about remaining in League 1. You're in League 2, mate. Doesn't have a clue. Does not have a clue. Right, let's hope Wrexham come in and, what's his name? Deadpool. What's he called? Ryan Reynolds is a bit more cohesive than old Raddy over here. So we're going to play the games in between. I'm going to do that off camera because, we might not be a Peterborough sports manager for very long. So, but we are very much going to be chasing promotion. We're not going to try and lose games. We are going to try and win because, we want to look good for the new owners. And you never know, we might end up staying here. So we want to be in good form if we do end up staying at Peterborough and we've got the playoffs. So we'll play the in-betweeny bits and we'll come back when we know something about Mansfield, or if even Wrexham or even another club come in for us. Well, there's us saying we're going to pie Mansfield off if Wrexham don't come in. They've actually come back and just said, yeah, no, we don't want you. So, yeah, that's it. I guess the Mansfield job not for us. They've went for Steve Cotterill. Don't know, who was managing Forest Green. Don't know why he would drop down from 6th in League 2 to wherever, 17th. Don't know. Don't know. Do not know. Wrexham are no longer interested either. So hasn't that gone just terribly? Just terribly. Yeah, I think they're going to sign probably this guy maybe or someone else. Surely the Forest Green job should be available now because was he available? Was he just on free? Did he get sacked from Forest Green? Hang on. Okay, it was in 2024, so yeah, he was available. I misread that. So, yeah, I guess we're just staying at Peterborough Sports. We've really, we did the interview as well as we could have. There's still some other jobs available, but we don't really want to go to Barnet or Kings Lynn, so I guess we'll just stick at Peterborough. Because of all these shenanigans, I guess we'll just come back for the last game of the season. We'll skip the Hartlepool one. Since you last left us, we've not been good. I think the boys know that I've got one foot out the door. We lost against Bournemouth, we lost against Oldham, we beat Fylde, we got knocked out by Maidstone in the FA Trophy as well. So yeah, we're just not in good form. We're just not playing very well. I'm really worried if we do stay with Peterborough, we won't win the playoffs because the form's just gone to pot a bit. It's just. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a blip, but hopefully we can start turning it around. Well, we're definitely the favourite for jobs all of a sudden because we just said Barnet were available. They've come in for an interview. They're not really someone I'm interested in. They're down in 23rd in the National League, so they're almost definitely going down this year. We would not want to take a step back. Why would we want to go to National League South, I guess, would Barnet be in? It's a little bit of a bigger wage budget, but not really anything to... Yeah, I mean, they've got Chris Ray up front. I'm really not that fussed. Sorry, Chris, if you're watching. Nicky Kabamba as well. I mean, it's just the ex-pools. It's just all ex-pools, isn't it? That's their I guess their transfer policy at the minute. It's just ex-pool strikers, so no wonder it's not going very well. We're going to decline this one. We have no interest in dropping down. We're second in the National League. Why would we go to 23rd for a club that's... Yeah, it's probably a full-time club, I'm imagining. No, they're semi-professional. They must have dropped down. They definitely are professional though, aren't they? In real life, I'm sure they must have changed during the seasons when they've just been so bad. So yeah, we're not interested in that. Other than that, obviously the Wrexham job hasn't been taken yet, but it must be because we can't apply for it yet, so it's probably just a matter of time. So yeah, I guess we'll just keep going how we going. Oh, I forgot to mention, actually, we did actually make a couple signings as well, so I will bring those up. Just the one, actually. Casey Palmer. He's been terrible, but he looks good. He's worth apparently 2.1 to 3 million. I don't think anyone's paying that much for him for a leading National League player, but he does look good. He's obviously 29 years old, so he's a little bit on the older side, but we've got him on a deal till the end of next season. I think he's good. I think he'll come good. I think he's just taken a bit of time to get fit and to learn the system. But other than that, Mundlesmith is on his way to Scunthorpe on a free. We're not using him. We don't need him. And I think that was it. So yeah, if nothing else happens, we'll obviously come back if something interesting happens, but if nothing else happens, we'll just come back for the last game of the season against Torquay and then set the scene for the playoffs. So nothing else has happened since we had the job interview offer from Barnet. Obviously, we ignored the interview. We don't want to go for something like that. The only other jobs are Rotherham, who are bottom of the Championship. We haven't had any interest from them, though. That's probably a step too far at this point, given that they're a 2.5-star club, but yeah. Probably a step too far for us. But this is the team. This is how our team has been going on. So it looks like we will be staying at Peterborough for at least the playoffs. Whether we stay going into next season, it just depends. I think we're very much at the point now where a good job offer would probably take us away from the club, because we are probably getting to the point where you probably want to move up in the footballing world. Obviously, we have got a chance to make it as a football league club, which would be great. So the last time you were with us was around here. I think we'd lost to Oldham, hadn't we? And we'd mentioned how the form had dropped off. We have turned it around with 5 back-to-back wins, so all the way from Altrincham down to Maidstone. We did lose our last game 2-0 away to Hartlepool, which is the team I support in real life. They are very much still trying to get into the playoffs. Unfortunately, their last game of the season is to champions Rochdale. So we can't go up automatically. We can't finish anything lower than second. So we very much will be playing in the semi-finals of the playoffs. Thankfully, we won't have to be playing against Rochdale, who their top scorer is this regen striker, and he looks amazing. He's got 25 goals in 36 appearances. I think he's going to be a hell of a player. Looking at him already, he's absolutely rapid, which is no wonder why he's scored so many in this division. But we've got our top goal scorer as well, Jaden Williams, who is looking really good, 30 and 42. He has dried up a little bit with the goals recently, but hopefully he can turn it around. Our turnaround in form has come with a couple of drop players. So Reece Allport really hasn't been playing very well. So Gez Sithole has come in, and he's done okay recently. Obviously, that's over. A lot of those are over the season have been sub appearances, and Sonny Davis has come in for Ahui. Ahui has just been losing out a lot at the back. He just hasn't been very good, so it's very much the team that we've dropped. So this is the team that we're going for our final game of the National League regular season. We are away to Torquay, who I think are just fighting for relegation, so they've definitely got a lot more to play for in this game than we do. So in goal, we've got Beach, a back four of Davis, MJ Kamara, Carragher and Ibu Toure, a midfield of Onyango, Otten Smith, Kamani Ryan, Casey Palmer, who is being quite a good sign. I said I think he'd come good, and he has indeed. 4 goals and 4 assists in his first 8 games. A goal contribution a game. That's a very good return. Gez Sithole on the left, and then Jaden Williams up top, and hopefully he can start firing today. We'll just take Ahui off because he's injured. And I think obviously if we do stay with Peterborough, it's going to be quite the rebuild in the summer, because we don't actually have a centre-back tied down to the club. We have 3 centre-backs at the club, all on loan. So we are very much going to be looking in the market for a centre-back. And I think a lot of the players are probably going to need replacing, because I just don't think this team is good enough for League Two. Torquay are in terrible form, but they've won 1 in their last 5, which has just put them out of the drop zone. Barnet, Spennymoor and Dagenham are all down. So realistically, it's between Torquay and Barrow for who's going to stay in the National League. Pools obviously looking to get into the playoffs. Other than that, I think every other playoff spot is sorted. I think 2 of the teams in the playoffs could not qualify, but realistically, you're looking at the last one. And Jaden Williams does well, and he does what he's been doing all season. He gets a goal, nips in ahead of his man, and gets the goal. And that's what I'm talking about. Gez Sithole, man. He's been good recently. He's definitely came in and done well. And a win here would actually get us on 100 points, which that's got to be some sort of record probably for the National League, for the most points that's never won the league title, because we've done really well this year. I think if Rochdale hadn't been on the crazy run they've been on, we very much would be winning the league. So it'd be really disappointed if we couldn't go up this year. I think we've got a big rebuild on our hands if we don't go up. If we go up, then at least I think we've got probably a little bit more pull, I guess, and I would fancy us to do well in League Two. See, it's easier to get promoted in League Two than it is in the National League, because in League Two you've got 3 promotion. Is it 3? I think it's 3 automatics in a playoff, so it's a lot of chances to go up, and it's hard to go down. You've got to be really bad. You've got to be 2 out of 24 teams to go down. The fact that they haven't done 3 up, 3 down, 3 down in League Two and 3 up in the National League yet is ridiculous, because the bottleneck in the National League is crazy. Like, look at the teams that get promoted from the National League, like Wrexham, Stockport. They've got, they've done back-to-backs and gone up to League One. So not back-to-backs, but they've done promotions after, relatively new to League Two. And that just shows you how good you have to be to get out the National League. You basically have to be a team that's good enough to get promoted into League One, which is ridiculous. It shouldn't be that. You shouldn't have to get to that level to get promoted. So I definitely think 2 automatics in a playoff is the way to go. At least do like a relegation playoff or something. I mean, that would be the first in, I think, the English leagues, but I think just a second automatic spot, the amount of teams that finish second that then end up getting promoted, because the playoffs are hard, it's just one off day and you're out. And it's not even off day, sometimes you just be unlucky and go out in the playoffs. I remember when Torquay played Hartlepool in the playoff final. I don't think Pools were really the better side that day. I mean, Torquay came uber close. They had a goal, I think, ruled off for offside, which probably wasn't even offside. And it took, obviously, a late goalkeeper equaliser, which, as a Pools fan, was absolutely gutting in when that went in. But in the end, we won on penalties, and it didn't matter. But we came back down anyway, so after 2 seasons. So really was all for nothing. But it was still good while it lasted. Anyway, we're winning 1-0. We're doing okay. But these are probably going down, so we really should be doing better. I mean, playoff-wise, we've not really been very good when we've played teams in and around us recently. Throughout the season, obviously, we've been incredible. You don't get 100 points without being good. But I am worried a little bit about us at the back. We do seem a little bit suspect as my cat is going absolutely crazy on something. Hopefully you can't hear that. And there we go. That's what I'm talking about. We're just a little bit suspect at the back. We do tend to concede goals, which is disappointing. Obviously, it's good for Torquay because they're staying up as it stands. But for us, that's not really what we want to see because we are just conceding goals. I'm very concerned about the performances of Beach and Kamara and Toure. And it's a bit late to throw Kazim back in, but Kazim hasn't been that good either. And I'm just a little bit concerned with the side, but hopefully we can turn it around in the playoffs. Hopefully we can actually turn up. It could just be a case of the players not really being at their best, knowing there's not really anything to play for the rest of us. We'll bring Kazim on, though. Just give him some minutes, and hopefully he can get a bit of fitness if we do need to rely on him in the playoff run. But I think, we're going to be in the playoffs. Obviously, there's no other interest. It doesn't seem like teams will probably be sacking their managers probably too soon. Obviously, we are at the end of the season, so a couple might come up. But it seems very much like we'll be doing playoffs next episode. And then we'll be doing a season 4 transfer special. Hopefully, a transfer special as a League 2 side, as a Football League side. But it does look like Hartlepool, unfortunately, aren't going to be joining us in the playoff mix. And it's probably good because we just lost to them, so we probably wouldn't want to play them anyway. But Torquay are doing everything they can to just stay in this league, and we're desperate to get out of it. And it looks like we've just kind of took our foot off the gas, but this is not the form you want to be. You want to be in winning form going into the playoffs because the playoffs are hard. Thankfully, with finishing second in the National League structure, we will only have to play the 2 games. If we were to win our first one, we would only have to play the 2. So we do have that advantage of not needing to win 3 games. We would only need to win the 2, which obviously does give you a bit of an advantage. So disappointing, to be honest, for a last game, but Torquay probably happy because I think they've stayed up with that result. Yeah, they have. Barrow lost. Yeah, Barrow lost 2-1 to Spennymoor as well. They're down there. They really should have fancied themselves, but we've done Torquay a favour. So that finishes the league up nicely. So unfortunately, we didn't get the win because we could have got that 100 points, but there you go. So Barrow down, we're into the playoff to play either Oldham or Bromley, which is what I was going to talk about. So Oldham will play Bromley, Gateshead for Fylde. Let's just look at the league table rather than that. So obviously Gateshead play Fylde, we play Bromley. I've always been a bit confused as to how they work this out because we're second. So realistically, you'd want to play these 2, but because obviously Fylde play Gateshead, you could end up playing 4th, whereas Yeovil will end up playing... Sorry, we end up playing 5th or 6th, and Yeovil could end up playing 7th. So it seems a little bit unfair. Alternatively, and much more likely, they'll be playing Gateshead, which is 4th. So I do get it in that way, but it just seems a little bit off. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't really make sense, but I guess there's no other way to do it. So regardless, Gateshead will play Fylde, Oldham will play Bromley, we will play the winners of those, and then obviously Yeovil will play Gateshead or Fylde, and then the winners of those will meet in the final. So that will do it for this episode. When we come back, we will have our National League playoff semi-final and hopefully final as well in our run-in, and hopefully we can get promoted. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode of North to Prem, and I'll see you all for more Football Manager videos very soon.